Okay, my good friends, Roger once again, Mud Fossil University. We're going to talk about the giant fish right here in the desert that was attacked by the giant dragon in the desert, and his giant dragon scales and his throat and all of that business. And I can say, I just want you to see this is a dragon, and I've gone over it so many times, it's getting old. And people are telling me, I keep talking about this. Well, sooner or later somebody's going to have to see and think about it. Now, this is the runoff of a dead, decaying dragon. It's the red and black is blood of a red-blooded creature. So he's red-blooded. Now, and I know that's his head, and see all this funny-looking nose that he has on there, and he spit out a bunch of dragon spit, whatever you call it. And here it is right here. It's very, very nasty. You can see what it is. All right, it's exactly identical to some of the most toxic snake venoms. Very, very nasty stuff. And I could find out where it came out of his throat and everything. So we got a dragon, we got a giant fish, and of course everybody knows that Atlantis is just below here, and apparently it collapsed right here as they were fighting, because all of this stuff around these two creatures, which apparently were in an ocean, a gigantic ocean here, which was the northern Africa, it drained right over the top of the Sahara out into the ocean, Atlantic Ocean, right over the top of Atlantis. And Atlantis back up here, and they said that it was right in front of the Straits, and this is the Straits. So, everybody thought it was the Straits of Hercules. I could never find any statement was written that it said Straits of Hercules. It said Atlantis lied outside the Straits. Now, so water ran across there. I mean, it's pretty obvious to me. So, now what else did we find? So, I came across here to the feathered serpent area to see if I could discover any feathered serpent, and lo and behold, one of them was just laying here, right here on the East Coast. All right, there's his head right there. All right? And there's his little, see all that little scooshy stuff all around his nose and everything? This is some kind, this was a feathered serpent. That feeds feathers, apparently. And you see these little things right here? Those are called flails. And they have them running down from their jaw. And I'll show you the one in Morocco. Now, this was the feathered serpent plume that stick right up off the top of his head. And we follow this feathered serpent all the way around up the Appalachian Mountains, which he is a part of. You see that? And I had somebody go down there, Greg Morrison had gone down there and actually picked up some of these dragon scales, and you can see it has the same dragon scale architecture. He did a good job, and he went down and he found these things, and it goes all the way up the East Coast, all the way up the East Coast, all the way up until you get into the Catskills. All right, all the way up to here. Now, those are dragon flails. Those are dragon feathers, actually, in this case. So, I'm showing you one dragon here. They've talked about the feathered serpent. That was in history. I'm not making that up. They talked about that. And this one over here, is the Atlas Mountains, and that was talked about too. And I have some ancient maps that say, do not go in this territory. There is dragons. Now, here's what, are you ready, Jody?
I'm ready.
All right. I've been holding Jody off at the end of a leash here. Here's the deal. We got China. Let's go to China. I got to turn this thing around. Here we go. All right, get ready, Jody.
I'm ready.
That's a dragon's face. China is...
Wow, I see it.
Well, wait till you see the detail. This will blow you away.
I seen it immediately as soon as you turned it that way.
Look at
Wow.
this. That is a dragon's face. Now, you say, oh, Roger, come on. Well, Tyson found it. And when he found it, at first I said, oh, it can't possibly be. He said, no, look at this, look at this. And he gave me a bunch of details that were hard to miss, but still hard to really accept. You see it, it sure looks real. You can see his eye. Now, wait till you see this, Jody. So,
look at the bumpiness around the eyes and everything.
watch this, watch this.
That rigidness around their eyes.
Oh yeah, this goes right up the back of his head, and it goes up here. Look. This is, I mean, it's all the dragon stuff is here. You know, when I get into it real close, you can't miss this. If you know, that just didn't happen by accident. All this stuff.
Absolutely not. We know that.
We know how these things are put together and how they run. Now, here's the deal. I say that's his eye, and you say, "Well, Roger, how could you say that's his eye?" I say, "Well, because an eye has tear ducts." And you say, "Well, where's the tear ducts?" And I say, "Here they are, right here. People are living in them. Here's the tear ducts. You see, there's one there, there's one here, there's one there, one here. Well, who's living down there? People are living in the teardrops.
Wow.
People are living in these tear ducts, and they are all around. It's not just one here and one there. This is
they're all over.
They're the entire around the. They're all tear ducts. The same thing with your eye. You have tear ducts around the whole eye you have.
Right.
Up the top, all the way around. See it? And they're living in those tear ducts.
Wow.
So this zone right through here is where the tear ducts run down, and you can see it has all of that same looking fluff to it. How it, you see it?
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
That is crazy, yeah. That's bizarre.
So this is his eyelid. Now here's the flail. Right there.
Yeah, like his little beard.
It's a little beard coming down, right? Even down here, you can see it all the way down to the end.
Yeah, I can see it perfectly.
That's the flail, and here's the flail on the other side. You can't really see it. He's like blended in with it, but
yeah,
you could see it a little bit.
On that side,
this is
yeah, you can make it out.
Yeah, this is the flail. You can see it. And that eye is right here.
Wow, yeah, you could. As soon as you turn the globe this way, I saw it immediately.
Yeah, you can't miss it.
You can't. It stands right out. The nostrils, the mouth open. It looks like a serpent mouth.
Everything.
The way the lip kind of goes up
Look
there.
At the jawline.
Wow, how big is this? Did you measure this head along with how many miles?
No, I didn't.
From nose to.
You see that? Can you imagine?
That is it's just unbelievable. I'm still kind of in shock. I'm trying to absorb it all.
I know. All right, here's a picture of a dragon. Somebody knew what they looked like. They're all over the place. Every parade has a similar looking dragon. They have everything. They have the flails, they have the whiskers, they have the flutes, they have the eyes, the red eyes, everything. Okay, here's another shot. There's a dragon, looks like to me, and his tail's wrapped around. It's not in his mouth, but there's his flails, and that's a dragon. Looks very similar. All right, this is everywhere around the world. This is, the dragon is shooting out dragon balls. This is in Thailand. I mean, what can I say? Yikes. All I can say is, you don't want to be there on that day. I don't know what the source of this is, but it's another dragon.